YouTube, what's going on? Horse Racing Gamer here. Welcome back to Gallop Racer 2000. Drum roll. And 3. That was probably the worst drum roll you guys have ever heard in your life, I would imagine. So don't worry, I will never do it again. You know, sometimes I say that and I don't mean it. I actually mean it this time. So, we are the last week of April. Here's King Lark, 3-year-old colt, out of Frugal Lark from Twin Sun. This guy is as strong as I thought he should be. So Mad Courage, again, was totally worth picking up, even though I feel like maybe I intentionally underachieved with Mad Courage. Just wanted to win him the basics, get him in the Hall of Fame. And yeah, just be able to get horses like Mad Courage, but with better stats in the bad areas. And that's what King Lark is. Mad Courage's son, actually, Twin Sun, very fast. King Lark also very fast here. So King Lark does resemble like a stronger Mad Courage with his speed figure at his highest, but his growth type is short. I think he already peaked, but he should still be strong. Here's our 4-year-old colt, America's Dream, still going well. He's got 6 grade 1s, 10 wins out of 17 starts, so he's pretty well put together in the right places. So he should be a horse we should be able to win with still for some time. And our 5-year-old mare, ready for combat, from Crimson Art out of Frugal Lark. She's still growing, and actually she should start getting to her peak at the end of this year, because that's usually the time frame Frugal Lark horses start to peak, especially the girls. They peak a lot later than the boys for some reason. So yeah, she's kind of reminiscent of the other horses we already have, but a great guts rating. She is getting faster, power. I think I have her on a speed. Yeah, I was gonna say I have her on a speed regiment, and hopefully that should continue to make her a bit faster. She's actually coming along pretty well now that she's on a roll. I hate how the race records look on that screen. I feel like it's so disorganized in this game compared to 2004. That is a gripe. I feel like sometimes you guys think I just don't give this game like any problems, but like there's equally annoying things in this game in some essence, especially that. I hate looking at that screen. This is a lot easier on the right with the blue. Only your last 3, but still. So she's got 2 back-to-back grade 1 wins. Universal Cup. I forgot about that. Wow. It's only been about 2 weeks since I played, but so she won the Universal last time out. So 4 grade 1 wins with 11 total wins in 26 starts. Yeah, like I said, she's still coming together, so she should have another good year of wins. Hopefully we can chase a GWS. Is she a dirt horse? She is. Okay, so we're going for a dirt champ title. So she's going for that this year. Gosh, I hate this screen. Do you have any titles at all yet? No. Where are you winning at? So the place of where they're winning is on the right side, if you didn't know. Some people don't know. Some people are new to the game, kind of in general, believe it or not, which is awesome. But anyways, he has a win at 10.5 on the dirt, 9 furlongs on the turf, 10 on the turf, and 10 on the turf. So he's definitely going for a mid-champ title, for sure. So that's simple. I already have you in a race. So he's going for a mid-champ. She's going for, what did I say? She's going for dirt. And then King Lark, you have 7 wins out of 8 starts. 5 of those are grade 1s. And he's winning at 8 furlongs and 10. So probably any one of those 2. All right. So speaking of King Lark, he should be going for a GWS. definitely the turf. Has he won on the dirt yet? I don't think so, okay. Just making sure. I got tempted to put him in the Kentucky Derby, but I'm like, well, if he actually hasn't ran on the dirt, it's probably not a good idea, Eric. It's not the time to be trying things out. Well, there's no GWS races until, I think, July, which is super annoying. So that means we're just going to have to settle for just some regular title chasing, which is fine. It's what we need to be doing. So he's been winning at 10. I kind of want to keep him on that for the mid-champ. We're going to go ahead and put him in the Treasure Stakes in Paris. 3-year-olds racing for 1,700, which sounds like a terrible purse in most USD or most currency terms in real life. But in the game, that's a lot of money. Well, in the game, actually, compared to the other grade ones, is actually the lower amount. So actually, you know what? I stand corrected by my own deductive reasoning, inductive conclusion finding. I'm not making any sense, but what I'm saying is, forgot the European grade ones, they don't actually have good prize pools in this game. Why is that the case? I don't understand. Like, the races in North America, the grade ones in North America have, like, huge prize pools. Or the ones for, like, you know, the World Mile, aka, like, the Breeders' Cup Championship weekend in October. Those races have huge prize pools. Why do some of these European races have, like, 1,700 for first place, and then another race that's technically with weaker horses in the same class has a prize purse, I should say, for first place of like 24,000, you know? I don't get it. This race is technically way tougher than the other grade ones where you get like more money for winning. This is a race where you hardly get nothing for winning, but it's much tougher. Like, why did the game do that? Does anybody know? It's always kind of bothered me. I'm assuming there's a reason for it. I can't think of anything. So I'm like, it's always stumped me. Anyways, we'll be kicking off today with a grade 1, the Saints Stakes, 10.5 furlongs with America's Dream. And the Saints Stakes, this race in real life, if I can find it, is the Prix Janay. I have no idea. I'm definitely butchering the heck out of that pronunciation. It's the Prix and then Ganay. Ganay, yeah. I have no idea how that's pronounced, so I'm just gonna say the Prince G, the Prince J. I don't know what that stakes is. I don't know if it's from European horse racing. I'm assuming it is, but I could be entirely wrong. It could be from Australia or even Asia, I suppose. Either way, that's what this race is in real life. I'm gonna start referencing that more, just because. I think it's cool, you know, for people to know the real life races. Now, bear in mind, some of these I don't actually know in real life. I would say actually in most of them I don't. But I am slowly learning about some races I didn't previously know about because of this game. So it's kind of a cool thing. Like, obviously, like the mainstream races that happen worldwide, I do remember those. Or I do know those, but some of the less focused races that don't end up as much in the media, those are the ones I'm still learning. America's Dream is off well and dandy here in the Saints Stakes. Toxic Waters, our retired stud, has the record here for this course and this race. So America's Dream, just trying to get him comfortable. One thing about this game that is a little nerve-wracking, you really do have to keep your horse in the right position. Like, I think in 2004, you can get away with it and still win a race by a decent margin. But this game will kind of punish you sometimes if you don't actually get your horse into their preferred leg type. You know? Like, sometimes it will really hurt your horse's performance. So it's... say, like, you don't want to have that showing the whole time, right? Nobody does. Like, it's one of those annoying, like, subconscious things where you're like, you just don't want to see it. And not to mention, like I said, I think you feel the effects of it if you do intentionally run your horse out of position. But, like, we're four neck, almost a neck across, so I'm having to like individually micromanage my head position with these horses. It's not ideal, man. Okay, we can go now. Okay, America's Dream's actually rolling pretty nicely here. Oh, he's rolling nicely, man. He's got nice momentum going. We got the 4-horse to beat. America's Dream down the stretch. Oh, he's going to close out. Close race, okay. There's the heart. He's going to get it done by half of a length. What a drive for America's Dream, man. Something about me wanted to say, I don't know how this is going to go, but then I stopped myself. And I'm like, you know what? Let me give the horse a chance. I don't know how he would respond in a situation like that where he doesn't get like an absolute jump lead on the rest of the field. Like that's how we usually run with our procedures, right? You get ahead of the entire field, at least at some point in the stretch before they get going. That's what gives you and your horse the advantage. I didn't do that time with him. I kind of sat a little bit longer than I wanted to. And apparently that worked out perfectly for him. Because he was able to really close in on the other horses that were obviously tiring out. So you take advantage of that. Horses kind of running themselves too hard. And beautiful photo. If only I could save it. I mean, I can in the video, but like you can't in the game. I will bring that up every time I get an amazing photo, which seems to happen 1 in every 59,000 tries. Awesome win there for America's Dream. Yeah, that's a 12:30. Yeah, fantastic win, man. Fantastic win. So I am back to keeping track of our horses' records for highlights. I realized it was a pretty good way of keeping everybody informed with our horses and progress in the series, so I'm going back to it. It's just time consuming, but I've told myself I need to stop being lazy, so. And sometimes you just get in those moods where you're not really trying to do anything. Oh, look at that. That was the race that gives America's Dream mid-champ his first title. Let's go. 4-year-old colt doing some good things here. Fantastic, man. Fantastic. HRG Arrow. Yeah, I'm just going to do it in trust. I will do like the first training session with these horses. After that, I just leave it up to the AI. I don't know how much of a difference it really makes anyways. Probably like the smallest percentage. So America's Dream bounces back after a second place finish in the Eagle Stakes to win a turf race. Oh, I forgot. He's pretty flexible with both surfaces. That's great. Social Branding and Frugal Lark. Okay. I mean, I would like the stamina to be better, but like, if it starts out at a base level of like mid 65 or at least a 70 for his foals, and that's without the broodmare. I'm just considering like the lower end of his stamina. I mean, that's still not a terrible starting point. I would like the health to be improved. I mean, he's not like obviously a bad horse, but I don't know. The categories he's kind of lacking in, those are kind of weird ones to really isolate. They can be done, but you just have to do it with the right horses. So, I guess I'm just curious what his, 7 grade 1s, Social Brandy peaked between technically like now and 5 years old. So he's pretty much getting to his strongest if he's not at his strongest as we speak. Like I said, it's not bad. This is certainly a horse that can win grade 1s. A horse with at least an 85 power rating, also with a 82 power rating, or excuse me, a 86 speed rating with an 82 power rating. Anything that's in those margins combined on a horse usually gives you a good advantage, especially in the mild champ range of like 8 furlongs and also the mid champ range of like 9 furlongs and 10 furlongs. Having good speed and good power are key for winning those races. Your stamina doesn't have to be 70. You can win those races sometimes with the horse on 60 stamina, as long as you have the speed and the power, and you get your horse going in the stretch at the right time. So to me, that's the example of the type of horse he is. And yeah, he's been pretty consistent. He's got 7 grade 1s out of his 18 starts. So almost every other race or every 2 races, he's winning a grade 1. That's a good track record in my opinion. And he's winning on turf and dirt. So he just got his mid-champ title from turf. He does have a win on the dirt, so we could try to focus on that. Actually, let's see how many he has on the dirt. I wonder. Go back to his oldest one. So mid-champ we just got. I'll ignore any race that's in that category. Yeah, just mid-champ so far. And only 1 win on the dirt that I can see. So the other turf wins that may have come earlier, I don't know what those are. Great. Okay, well. Eagle Stakes was definitely a harder race than the Kyoto. I think that's why we probably lost it. And I probably did something super goofy. I do want to see if I can get him a win on the dirt. I think he'd be capable. I think he'd be worthy of getting a title on both surfaces. I think that would do well, hopefully, for his prodigy. He should be strong to run a mile. Let's actually toss him in the Regal Stakes at the end of this month. Shorter distance. He should be okay for that. I can't see him getting completely beaten. Let's go ahead and check on the little one. Or little ones. I think we only have one, though. Yeah. Orca's Water. She is our yearling filly here. She's developed nowhere because she was just born basically a month ago. She's from Electric Arrow out of Pale Reef. I think she'll be okay. Electric Arrow was super strong. I think he's one of the horses I've done the best with. But what does the game think? S and double S. So same as Social Brandy, which we also won a lot on him. But yeah, I guess when you compare Electric Arrow and Social Brandy, he does have more A's, obviously. But Electric Arrow does have S's and speed and guts, which I think is why it was so fun to race with him. He was always willing to be in the fight, and he had the speed to match that intensity, so it just made a lot of races really fun with him. So I hope his foals feel the same way once they get to that point. But close race okay, grit, dominator. Like, I like those abilities as well. If you look at Social Brandy, he just has fast pace okay, which, you know, you can benefit off of that, but I think you get a lot more value from Electric Arrow with basically having 2 abilities like grit and close race okay, and then just kind of have that dominator ability sitting in the background. I think that works. They both have sustained growth types, same light type as well, and Electric Arrow can also run on turf and dirt. He is flexible with both, as opposed to Social Brandy here, who can only run on the turf. So I think long-term Electric Arrow, like I said, gives us better quality horses to build off of. I totally forgot I even retired Common Earth. That's how forgettable that time was. I just feel like he was pretty much exactly what I thought he would be because I had never played with him before. So it wasn't like I was super wowed. I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is how I expected Common Earth to be. And it was a good time. Yeah, his power rating and his health rating are not ideal at all. In fact, I really don't like them. But he has good abilities. Last corner leader, closer, and spurt. I like those abilities together. His growth type is average as well. So what I'm getting is a horse that's not going to be able to run long, and a horse that's still going to peak between 3 and 4 years old. So you're basically getting fast growth types with Common Earth. Fast growth types who can't race a lot. So if you're kind of just hoping for just kind of like magical horses to have here and there. And then, of course, you can always breed those D-rated power and health ratings out, yes, with at least 2 or 3 generations, depending on the quality of broodmares in this case that we use. You can breed those out, but still, it's the base to work from. Of course, I ignored it when I got Common Earth because I'm like, hey, he's a horse I want to try out. I like his abilities. I'll acknowledge the bad power and health rating, and I'll just have to make sure I have the right broodmare. That's the problem. I don't know if there's a broodmare that's super compatible for that. So give me a second. All right, so broodmares that would be compatible with Social Brandy or Electric Arrow. No, Common Earth. I'm all over the place, but Common Earth. We're looking for broodmares that would obviously have at least A power in health, or at least S ranked power and S ranked health. Pale Reap, she fails. One Lady Miracle kind of passes, still kind of fails, but she's like right there. She's literally on the cusp of not passing, but I think she's there because of the S power, and the health is at least a C and not a D, right? That's a little bit of an improvement. Frugal Lark, fail. E doesn't help. And Honeybee, still fail. Like, the B is better for the health, but the power still stinks. So, One Lady Miracle, technically, is actually the only compatible mare that I think could help improve a horse from Common Earth, or at least get a horse that could maybe and hopefully inherit better stats. Keep in mind, though, that doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you hope for that, and the game doesn't give you a horse with like the balanced stats or the better stats. Sometimes it gives you something even worse. I'm sure it's happened to all of us at some point with one of our horses. You guys have seen it happen to me. You know, it's not like 100% guaranteed you take horses with these two stats and you're guaranteed 100% to get whatever you think you're going to get. Like, it's still probability at the end of the day. So, yeah, Twin Sun. I mean, Mad Courage had E power and I think E stamina. Keep that in mind. So, Twin Sun improved at least in that way. But looking at Common Earth, he's really not even that powerful, to be honest. Like, he's S speed, okay, but a lot of horses are S speed in this game. That's not crazy for a double S. His temper is S, okay, that's nice. He's not going to give you a problem, and he doesn't. His stamina is A, okay. That's better than being B or C, but still, that's not crazy. There are still a lot more stronger horses in that category, too. Got some response, feel, those are all at B, so they're just on the fringes of almost being bad, right? And then power and health. Like, what did I achieve with Common Earth? It really was a blur. And like I said, I liked the horse, I've always respected the horse, but it really just feels like my time playing with him was a blur. Jockey titles, no, I wouldn't be here, obviously. Hall of Fame. I don't, like, did he get into the Hall of Fame? Okay, he did. Yeah, what do we do with you? Because it takes forever to get down the freaking menu here. Okay, so yeah, very short career. 9 wins. Oh, you retired him undefeated. I do recall that. So, 6 grade 1 wins. 9 wins in his 9 starts, with titles of Dirt Champ, Horse of the Year, and GWS Dirt. Wow. Again, Common Earth is a good horse. I still think his stats are a little bit under. So this is... Sometimes I'm always conflicted with what the stats are, I guess, with the horse at their peak, and then what the game kind of averages it out to be if it's not that. I mean, this at its peak is actually great. Oh no. This is actually... Like, that stamina is not an A at 87. I don't think it is. I do have like an actual chart that like breaks down like all the actual letter grades and the numbers. I don't think A is quite 87, but gosh, there could be different metrics out there and different scales. Like these stats just look way stronger on here, right, than they did looking at him out in the pasture where you saw the D's and the B rated grades. But yeah, this actually, I mean, this makes total sense. Like when you're looking at it just from a letter grade POV, it doesn't look that great. So yeah, we retired him undefeated with 3 titles. Yeah, that actually is pretty. Yeah, that's actually pretty decent. I wonder how good that will actually be for him as a sire. Like, it's still a forgettable run, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm happy to know we did well. I can't remember anything memorable about it. Maybe because I felt like that's what Common Earth is supposed to do in this game. So even if it's a great time, and it is, especially just working with different horses in the game, like, does it feel memorable? Not really, not to me at least. You know, I feel like there's got to be a story. Like, what's the story with Common Earth? He's an in-game horse that's a double S, and that's been good since the first Gallop Racer game in the series. That's who Common Earth is. I wonder, like, is he based off of a real horse? I feel like he is, but I can't remember the name. I think Sketchy or Empire or somebody would know. If you guys do, comment down below and or shoot me a message in Discord and let me know. I can't remember, but either way, I just feel like what we achieved with him, I guess, is what he was supposed to achieve. Now, keeping him undefeated and retiring him undefeated, I feel like the game has to take that into consideration. It's worked, I think, with at least 2 horses I've done that with, and they turned out to give. They were, I think, really high quality studs that we ended up having. So, and it was 1 stud and 1 broodmare. So I think it does work if you do it right and you get titles and stuff. But, you know, I guess we'll see, because we'll have to use Common Earth at some point. Like I said, One Lady Miracle, I think they would actually give us hopefully a pretty good horse, or it would be a train wreck. So that's probably who I'll do for next year. I think that would be interesting. Anyways, we're going to kick off here today on this particular journey here with King Lark for the Treasure Stakes. 10.5 furlongs, going for the mid-champ title. Is the favorite, not by, well, actually the second favorite behind number 1 horse Irish Runner. Horse, I run against that horse on these circuits, and I just always forget what it's really good at. It's like a mid that could also run as a procedure, so it's kind of just tweet. It's like in that weird, you know, just phase of, yeah, not having any really identified position. And, yeah, I don't know. Like, the horse always gets favoritism, but I just don't recall having any great battles with it. I know, like, I will see its name, maybe on the top 7, but I just don't remember what really happened with Irish Runner. Not like I do with other horses that we end up battling. You know? We're off in the St. Stakes with King Lark. It's a good start for King. He's a lot more responsive to me. I feel like America's Dream, as good as he is, the horse that we raced on earlier, that dude is a little bit stubborn when it comes to kind of just responding to just where I want him to be. King is a lot more reasonable. I wonder if it's something to do with their feel rating. Feel and response rating, I would assume. Like the combination of both. I'm sure King Lark's... I wonder, though. I'm not even going to say. I don't know King Lark's... I don't know if those ratings for him are stronger than America's Dream. It just feels like they are. I could be completely wrong, though. But hopefully I'll remember to check before the day is over. So we'll see. But I gotta be honest, I don't really like where we are. Is the rail open? Oh, it is. I think. Yeah, it definitely is. Okay. Well, thank goodness. Not having to deal with the morons out there that have no idea what they're doing. And King Lark should be gone. 2 is making a run. Who's making a heavy run? That's Red Asset and Irish Runner closing. As I talk about morons, I completely botched the race for Irish Runner. I knew it. As soon as I said it, I'm like, I'm going to eat those words, ain't I? I'm going to eat them. Yeah. Way too soon. I felt it. I felt it. I saw the stamina going, and I'm like, you know what? King is strong. He'll hold on. Yeah, not apparently when you get him going that fast. Overthought the confidence of the horse's endurance. Only 66. America's Dream 69. Ready for Combat 69. Yeah, trying to do what I did with him for 66 and 50 power as well. That also is the deal breaker. That power rating, the lack of it. If that power rating was at least an 85 as well, I think we actually survived that incline. In fact, we usually do with horses that have a power rating like that. Like America's Dream, for example. He basically won the same race. Yeah, he actually won the same race pretty much. He didn't tire out, and he pulled away and won by half a length at the end. He had the power rating. Look, his stamina is only 3 points higher than King Lark's here. But America's Dream, better power rating by 22 points. No, 32 points, people. That's a 32-point difference. So, like, that is a difference maker in this game. A horse like this, with virtually the same stamina as its stablemate, 3 points higher only. But when it comes to the power difference, it's a whole 32-point gap compared to King Lark, as you can see here, who only has 50 power rating. Now, of course, like I said, I got him going way too soon. But the point to add to that as well is, I overthought a metric of his ability, and that's his power. His stamina is super average, like America's Dream, but King Lark actually doesn't have the power. And I can imagine it's probably how I lost his other races. I just can't remember, but I'm sure it was something along those lines. And I don't know what you use in this training program to train for power. Not that I would even have any idea if it would work or not. But I do wonder, actually, if switching to stamina would be more beneficial for him, since he doesn't have the great power rating. And this is another point. So he has mediocre stamina with, to me, a bad power rating. What if the roles were reversed where, let's say, his stamina was actually really good, let's say at the 85 number, and his power rating still stunk? Well, the stamina would give him a little bit, obviously, more endurance to handle races like we just did, going uphill. The lack of power rating, obviously, will still play a factor, but it won't be as big of a downside if he has at least 85 stamina. So sometimes they can balance each other out if one is bad and the other isn't. You're still not obviously getting the super horse quality type of winning by 20 lengths with that. No, but you get the point, right? I hope. So that's something I have to be more mindful of going forward with King Lark. So, my bad, man. That's something I need to be more mindful of. So, get them together again. Bounce back. It's almost like I actually really have to hold them, like, pretty late, to be honest, and then kind of send him, because he does have 89 speed. That's kind of how that works, right? I know this. Well, speaking of his stablemate, America's Dream, he's back up. Regal Stakes going for the mile distance here. And is the favorite. Game is giving us favoritism for once. Because it actually seems like I don't really get favoritism in this game. And this race, in reality, is the Shoemaker Mile. Sweet. I know the Shoemaker. So knowing this race is the Shoemaker is actually cool. Favorite Shoemaker Mile champion in the comments. Go. Or not. Should be able to do this with America's Dream. I'm feeling confident. I wonder if one of our horses has the record here. And yes, Perfect Art, I knew. Wait, this race is so familiar to me. I remember that race with her. I think I still have it on. I put it in one of her highlight videos I made probably a while back. Yeah, the fact that she still has the record, she's been off track for like a long time in this game, man. That means no horse, AI, or any horse that we've had since her has broken it. And I don't even know if she got that on a Revolution. Ah, crap. I almost forgot the rotation in this game is different than 04. I think I almost pressed the button that would have whipped the horse, and that would have ruined our race. We're literally in an ideal position. I think America's Dream is cooling, man. I'm going to keep them nice and easy here. I'm not going to push too heavy. Okay, we're just going to make sure you get them up. And now we'll get them going. Set him on the rounds. Now the horses have to try to catch him. Who is that flying? That 5 horse is rolling. Spicy Whale. Who is that? America's Dream, close out, my dude. Close out, close out, close out. We just get there in time. Oh my gosh. Spicy Rail was absolutely coming on a flyer, and there was really nothing I could do. If that race was any longer, we're definitely losing that. Holy crap, that was kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Spicy Whale. Was that horse supposed to finish second or third? What a win for America's Dream. That's a big time win. Shoemaker mile win for America's Dream. No, totally not gonna lie. That really kind of freaked me out. Apparently today is becoming the America's Dream highlight reel. So far. Yeah, it's the Regal Stakes, but we're saying it's the Shoemaker mile. Can't forget the mile part. So I was at 38.50. Wins by half a length. Yeah, I was going to say, Spicy Whale was not even supposed to finish in the top 3. That's why I'm like, who is this 5 horse? I paid attention to Courtly Navy, the 2. And I think One Only Art, who didn't finish anywhere in the top 8. But Spicy Whale was supposed to be nowhere near that contest. And ended up halfway scaring me to crap and back, man. Like, oh my goodness. Spicy Whale, do not do that. But that was actually fun. I'm all for the tough races and the close finishes. But that was really close. It was really close, man. America's Dream, 2 for 2 on grade 1s today. Again, showing why I can win grade 1s with him. I think at a more consistent rate. Hence why he actually has a number he does. HRG Arrow, last month of preparation, just in trust. And let's see how this horse comes out. So 7 to 10 on the turf. Not good health, so can't race a lot. Speed's already at 73. Stamina's at 61. Power's only at 52. Temper's not good. Guts is at 62. Response at 78. I'm sure this horse has a later growth type. So there's definitely room for growth. But the growth type has to be pretty sustained. And I don't remember who the stud is, so let's check that out. So ranked B already for HRG Arrow, 2-year-old filly. So that's not terrible. I mean, that certainly, at least to me, makes me feel like there should be room to grow. But, oh, the moment of truth. Who is the sire? She has grit and close race, okay. Dominator. That temper rating, oh gosh. I hope she's not spicy. We haven't had a spicy filly in any of our Gallop Racer games in like a long time. I sincerely hope this is not the return of that. Electric Arrow and Frugal Lark. Well, they consider Electric Arrow sustained. So, like I said, she should be okay long term. Now, if she was going to peak with like an average growth type, I think we'd be in trouble here. The temper rating is going to be bad regardless. That won't improve, I guess, that much. But if she has a good growth pattern between now and at least 4 years old, 5 years old maybe, she should at least get an additional 15 to 20 points in most of her stats. I'm going to say, let's just say 15 points. Maybe even 12 to 15 points. That means her top speed could be between 85 and 88 at the lowest end. Her stamina would improve to 73 or 76, so that would be pretty good. Her power rating would be like a high 60, maybe a low 70. So it would be better than being obviously where it's at now. Temper wouldn't change. Feel really wouldn't change anything too significantly. Guts would potentially be high 70, low 80. Response could stay at 78. The response rating in this game is weird. Sometimes they don't really move. I don't know why. And health is not going to improve that much either. In fact, I think response and health don't change that much for me and my horses. That's just what I've noticed. So yeah, at least in some of the important categories, she'll be strong. But for a broodmare, that's what I'm concerned about. I suppose it depends where she's at when she peaks, right? Good thing is we don't have to worry about losing her in this game, so... certainly her abilities allows her to be in a lot of races. You know, we'll be able to rely on grit or close race okay in most situations. So to me, that gives her a helping hand. Yeah, like the middle of her chart is not really appealing. From the power down to the temper rating, those 4 stats, power, braking, feel, and temper. Yeah, those are all pretty right? So if we do retire her for a broodmare and those stats don't improve too much, that's the core area we have to focus on with the stud for her. And the health, you know? So it's a weird mix. I don't know how, like from Electric Arrow and Frugal Lark. After I check out those two just to see how the heck that happened, put her in a race, see how she is on track. But she's already 73 speed. She should be extremely fast, at least at the minimum. And maybe that's her thing. Maybe she will just be a really hardcore sprinter with just a bad power rating and not a good temper. She just kind of wants to run and do her thing. So Electric Arrow. Okay, the B ratings for... Okay, so yeah, the middle of Electric Arrow's chart matches up with her stats in the middle of her chart. So Electric Arrow, kind of the... Yeah, actually, she completely inherited his stats from stamina, power, feel, temper, and health. She inherited all of them. She actually inherited a lot of his stats. And then when we look at the broodmare, Frugal Lark, yeah, she didn't inherit that A level power rating. The response, she got that from Electric Arrow. The guts, they both have S, and I don't think her heart rating was that high. I mean, obviously, it has to be for close race okay, but the number wasn't impressive as we speak. Yeah, she kind of gets a bad middle from both her mother and her father as far as her chart is concerned. So yeah, I guess she really did actually come out like the game actually really combined the two of them just on like pure average, and that's how she came out, it seems. Like how it seems like how well they I guess I wonder how well will she do on track. Will they take into consideration the titles, the grade 1s from Electric Arrow, and take the titles and the grade 1s from Frugal Lark? Will they combine that into her horse profile? Not within these stats, but somewhere that gives these horses obviously a boost in this game. We all see it. You breed with stronger generations, you get stronger horses. Clearly the game rewards you for breeding with stronger horses. I wonder if that's what the case will be for her. Her stats may not indicate that, but maybe underneath her hooves, so to speak, once we get her on track, that could be the case. Just a thought. So as far as training regimen, 7 to 10, I mean, she's not going to have crazy endurance, so I really would just like to make her as fast as I could. But in all honesty, because her stats are kind of in a weird mixed bunch, I'm going to leave it on training because I don't know how she's going to develop. So I kind of just want to let her just develop at a natural rate. I'm not going to force the training for now. So we should be able to get her into 6 furlong sprint, 73 speed. She could win that on debut. That's the hope. King Lark, we got to bounce back with you, bud. That was not a good performance by me last time out. You are going for, I believe, a mile champ. No, mid champ, yeah. Really a race I should have won, but again, overestimated the guy's power and stamina. Will not happen again. Paris Grand Prix. Grand Prix. Or Summer GP. I kind of want to run him in the Summer GP. That's in mid-champ territory. It's a little bit of a stretch at 11, but just kind of need to get our boy a title here. Play it safe for now. I mean, he's doing well. He's finished in the top 2, 9 of his 9 starts. So we haven't finished worse than second. With 5 grade 1s, so he's doing fine. Just need to zero in. America's Dream is rocking and rolling, man. 8 grade 1s for this guy. 12 wins and 19 starts. From Social Brandy. He's doing very well. His stats are a lot better than Frugal Arc and Electric Arrow. It's kind of crazy. That's actually already, I didn't even realize that's already almost a clear comparison of the breeding pairs, potentially. America's Dream came from Frugal Arc, and then his father was Social Brandy. And then when you look at HRG Arrow here, she has the same mother, Frugal Arc, as her half-brother, America's Dream, but her father, in this case, is Electric Arrow. And then you see her stats. This is what you get with a developing, multi-year developing horse from Electric Arrow. Some of these stats will be nice when they hit their peak. The other categories are not going to be great. So that's when you use Electric Arrow as a sire. And then you come over here to America's Dream, and when you use Social Brandy here as a sire, these are the stats you should get. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of liking the Social Brandy Frugal Art dynamic more, and I didn't think that would be the case. I just assumed Electric Arrow would work better, but if this is what Electric Arrow gives you, I'm not poo-pooing the horse, I'm just saying, like, it's really not, I mean, it's kind of clear what horse you should go with, right? You know? I'm sure she'll be fast, and she'll be really quick in the mile and mid-champ categories. She should have decent endurance to maybe run more than 10 at some point. She should, I hope. But, you know, when it comes to breeding, she's going to have a bad temper regardless. She's going to have a bad fuel rating. Those things are really annoying to breed out. So, you know, we just really have to wait and see with her. That's all we can do. But, again, going forward, I'm going to use Social Brandy and Frugal Arc if I'm going to breed those two again before I do Electric Arrow and Frugal Arc. Apparently they just weren't that compatible, which is, it's good to know. I'm glad that happens. It'd be really annoying and kind of boring if like the game always just gave you perfect breeding every time you used parents that you super liked. Like I think the game does need to give you a little bit of RNG and just say, hey, sometimes this doesn't work. You got to figure it out again. America's Dream and the Red Flower. What are we chasing for you now? I mean, the Mile Champ. Spring Mile? Could he win that in the green? Is there another race for me to wait for? Not gonna lie, I kind of want to give him another chance at that in the green. I want to see how he responds. After this, obviously, I'll take a little bit of a layoff because there's nothing else I really want to run him in anyways. His health is 58. It's not ideal, obviously. Yeah, this is kind of our little tour here with America's Dream. Make it 3 grade ones in a row. In fact, we'll be starting with him again right now. But yeah, I didn't really realize the clear difference in Social Brandy compared to Electric Arrow, I guess. I was looking at the charts earlier. It seemed like Electric Arrow was the better pick. And maybe he still will be. I haven't even, this filly haven't even raced with a 2-year-old yet. I have no idea what she'll be like. She can end up being a monster, and her stats are just kind of not not the best representation of that. That could very well be the case, but I still want horses with good stats, and I think Social Brandy does better with that than I thought. Looking at the charts, it looked like, yeah, maybe some stats would be better from Social Brandy, but overall, the quality would be better from Electric Arrow, but again, I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, enough of that. Spring Mile Cup here with America's Dream. He's not 100% coming into this race. He's still second favorite. Public still thinks he has a good chance to win. Aunt B is here. And he has better odds than her. Special Pool as well. Sly Fly, Scott Spring, Fine Saint. Night Breeze is here. She doesn't stand a chance, though. So, I mean, these are some decent horses. And America's Dream is looking good. I wonder what his eval is actually going to be, or where he's at. We're a couple months away from the middle of the season for the half-year classifications. I wonder where he's at. I mean, I could check now, I suppose, but it's a lot going on, so if I remember to check, I will. Spring Mile Cup, though. He's been running much tougher races, technically, so this is definitely kind of a drop. Not a drop in class, but just a drop in level. You know, he was racing essentially international grade 1 competition. Now he's kind of back on the domestic scene here. More regional, so to speak. Still tough, but, you know, not as tough as I think the international meets. So it's a good start here for America's Dream. We're going to talk right in behind Aunt B. Cannot forget those colors anywhere. I think they did a really good idea with the contrast of Aunt B with her jockey, the silk colors, and then just the overall look. You know, people talk about kind of iconic horse racing colors or jockey and horse combination. I think theirs really works well. Well, she's a rival today, so she can look pretty or not pretty. You know, it is what it is. We're just going for the W here. Okay, now let's see if America's Dream can kick away. Who is that on the outside? The 11 is rolling, but we're America's Dream fight back. That's Scott Spring. Scott Spring actually got us. Caught me just sleeping. We were the second favorite. We finished third. Man. Definitely felt like I got that stretch going at the wrong time. They'll give me a D. So basically it was a perfect race and I totally botched the stretch. Yeah. He's definitely a horse that actually works better if you allow him to kind of fight back into the race. He doesn't really seem to do well when I kind of try to get him a head start. It's so weird. I mean, it's fine if that's his running preference. It's just, I haven't had a horse like that in a while, so. Still third place in that. That still counts. It goes on the board. You win money. The game still takes that into consideration, but. Ironically, that was the easier race. That should have been the easier race to win, but proved not to be. That's how it goes. So we'll give him a layoff. He probably won't be able to race until at least August, so 2-month layoff. And do we give him a GWS? A Super Mile Cup, actually. This would be for the GWS Sprint. 86. I mean, we've won with horses with 86 speed before, but gosh, I really got to be in the zone for that. Like King Lark, you run 8 to 11. They're really not that different in distance, but King Lark's definitely faster, and he's proven he can't run too long. I think I still need to focus on the sprint with him. And America's Dream, I mean, I would like to give him more titles. I wouldn't want to just do a GWS Turf campaign and win a whole bunch of mid-champ level races for a title we already have. But of course, getting him a GWS would get him into the Hall of Fame. That technically should probably be my number one priority right now. Since he actually has a title, I can focus on the big one. But I mean, he's already missing a couple of races. Like, so. Here's actually what I'm going to do. We'll try him out in the turf when he's back in the blue, here in the Platinum Stakes. He wins this, or at least comes in second, I'll keep him alive. I'm not going to make the same mistake I've been making in Gallop Racer 2004 with some horses. When I keep them in the GWS fight too long, if they unfortunately don't really have the greatest chance of winning, like, I need to be smarter and realize, okay, let's pull these horses out of these races. That way I don't mess up potential winnings for them, right? You can put your horse in 5 GWS races and maybe only win 1 out of the 5, compared to putting them in 5 grade 1s or whatever that are easier for them to win that aren't GWS level competition. Maybe that could work better for that horse. I mean, I think the game takes all situations into consideration, but, you know, I'm just saying that I think, personally, unless you're like finishing second in all those GWS, you know, caliber races behind the favorites, I still think at least having the grade 1 wins and possibly a title, I think that would hold a little bit more significance than just finishing second or third in GWS races. And granted, it could change from horse to horse. You know, it's not even like it's a conclusive thing that it's the same way for all horses. I'm sure one horse could benefit off of 5 easier grade 1 wins, and I'm sure there's another horse that could benefit off of, you know, 5 second or third place finishes. So I just think if you know your horse isn't going to win certain grade 1s, why put them in that? Like, put them in a grade 1 they can reasonably win, unless you just want to see what they're capable of. But if you know there's still a little bit of like a step behind the competition, I don't see the point. But we're up in the Summer GP, trying to bounce back with King Lark here, running him 11 furlongs, but I understand what I need to do now with him. Certainly can't send him too fast in the stretch. We technically are co-favorites with Second Death, who's next was in post position 4. Well, that's fantastic. There's Second Death right there in my Bates. So King is fast. His stamina's not bad, but again, I burned him out. Especially with that power rating as well. Yeah, quick response as well. Quick heart rating. He's certainly a horse I have to sit with a little bit in the stretch because yeah, he just doesn't have the endurance to make that happen for a long time. Just kind of got to get him in the right window. Make sure you're conscious of that, and that's what we'll attempt to do here. King Lark from twin son out of Frugal Lark. I believe her first. No, America's Dream. No, America's Dream would be her first son. We're ready for combat. I'll double check. Well, Gate Rocket certainly helps today. Keep him comfortable. That's the first step. But granted, I just got a perfect race eval and everything except for my stretch run in the last race, right? So that's not always a guarantee that we'll win. But again, I am aware now, King Lark does not benefit off of getting a huge head start on the field. I kind of got to keep him in the fight, which is fine with me. As long as he can figure it out and really dig in and show us his power and his pedigree, I'm all for being in the fight. But since I haven't played with him in 2 weeks, I quite forgot how I won those grade 1s. Some of them, at least. I'm just trying to keep him comfortable right now. He wants to go a little bit faster than I would like him to, so. But this inside rail should really help us. So like I said, I'm going to sit. He has enough speed. He should be able to chase these horses down, even if they get a decent start on him. So I'm not gonna panic too much. Okay, we'll go now. The rail is open, right? This horse isn't gonna be blocking me. Nope. Oh, that's the secret right there. King Lark is really... He is a late charger at the end, and that's how you get it done. So I said some races I forgot, not all. I know he's just a really strong proceeder. You kind of got a hold on the rail, kind of like Perfect Art, to be honest. He's pretty similar to her. Like, if I sent her too soon, that's when she would kind of burn out. She has similar stats to him. I mean, he's much, much, much stronger as a just general quality type of horse. But their speed was pretty much the same. So, and yeah, it was their lack of power rating as well, and their stamina wasn't great. They are actually really similar horses that I think have nothing in common, no pedigree, no grandparents alike, nothing. So, King Lark gets it done. Summer GP win, which in reality, that would be considered. If I could freaking find it, is the question. Length and a quarter winner here at 102. That was a really good win for King Lark. That's a good bounce back. That's all I needed. Just needed something to remind me exactly what I need to do with this guy so I don't end up ruining his races and ruining just any good things happening with him. So, great win there for our boy King Lark. Summer GP, that is the Tarakuza Kinen. I literally just watched that race like 2 days ago, but trying to actually remember the exact name and sound of the pronunciation. Not going to do that tonight. But that's what that race was. Big grade 1 in Japan, by the way. So, very big grade 1. But, you know, there are other big races in this game as well. Speaking of grade 1s, moving on to another one. The Caesars Cup. With Ready for Combat. Finally, we have not raced with her all episode. It's just been literally King's Lark and America's Dream. Ready for Combat in the field of 14. She is the favorite. Over Sedate Devil. Beauty prizes here as well. Night Falcon. So, competitive field here. Mix of horses. Let's see if she's developed anymore, since I haven't checked on her in a while. Okay, her speed has improved, only by 1 point, but she's still growing, which is good. 93 guts. I mean, she's actually been a horse that's been developing at a very good rate, and I've been very happy with her progress. In fact, I feel like she's been pretty much on the money since the go, for the most part. So it's been a really good time here with Ready for Combat. The Caesar Cup is the tail show. NAR. 1 race. Watched that one. I think it's been a while. I think I watched it like a year and a half ago. Just literally one. Just to see what it was like. Crimson Art still has the record here. That's crazy. Ooh, I forgot about your bad temper. It doesn't matter. I get a perfect start with ya anyways. We're off and running here in Caesar's Cup. Ready for Combat. Good start. She's just going to kind of sit and wait, see what the rest of these other horses does. I do want to try to get her over so we're not drifting too far. It's going to be tough to keep her as a proceeder if all these horses are kind of just running stacked around each other. So I'm going to have to send her a little bit harder on the outside. Not ideal. I could have pushed her a little bit heavy to the front. I really got worried about burning her out there, so... Well, she's running hard here, but we gotta get her to overtake this horse. It's really annoying me. There we go. Alright. Finally, after literally half the race, I get her to where she needs to be. Fortunately, her stamina still seems to be okay. So, I think our girl's really developing nicely, man. You can tell she's getting stronger. I couldn't do that with her earlier in her career, and I think get away with it as much. I think we can afford a little bit of that luxury now. Okay, you're going to move in front. That's fine. You are too. I'm going to keep cutting. Now we're going to go. I really waited there. I'm like, something tells me if I try to move with them, I'm going to mess myself up. I'm like, let me just let them drift out. Be patient. Oh, I'm ready for combat. Takes off. She was ready today as she has been. These last 6 months, she gets it done, wins the Caesars Cup, adds another grade 1 win to her tally. What a win. Absolutely rolling away on the dirt. And to have to work that hard to get basically to the front for half the race, that's a pretty valiant effort there. Ready for combat. Looking awesome, man. Gotta love that. Got to love that win there. 107.09. That's our girl. Making it happen, man. Look at her go. Really, really good win there, man. Didn't know if Today Double was actually going to play spoiler, and here she put her away. I mean, she closed a little bit at the end. Night Falcon really didn't turn out to be too much once we got going there. And yeah, ready for combat with a fantastic win there. It's it done. 2.5 clear. Ups to 8 double. Good result. So 2 grade 1 wins there for the stablemates King Lark and Ready for Combat. In fact, how many grade 1 wins is that for her? So that is 5 grade 1 wins. And yeah. And that means 1 more win on the dirt. She'll be a dirt champ. So a true dirt broodmare, or a potential dirt broodmare. Well, she is 5. She is a mare. So didn't even pay attention to that. Yeah, she's like a much, much, much stronger perfect art, you know? Which is really ideal. She just doesn't quite have the same speed, but she feels just as fast because, again, that power rating. You look at it, 77 improved, 69 stamina as well. Even she has a better power and stamina rating than HRG Arrow, who again is still developing. These could, you know, get better over time. I'm surprised she's still only B ranked though. She's on a winning streak now. I think she should at least move up to A, but are they really just focusing on her stats? I think she should at least be A or S. At least S, possibly. But it's fine. The game seems to think otherwise, so whatever. So, 1 more dirt win for you, my girl. Oh, Long Beach Cup. Perfect. And the great thing is we can get her into the GWS as well, and she still could have a chance to win that. So, the future is still extremely bright for this 5-year-old mare here and Ready for Combat. Next grade 1 win, hopefully a dirt champ title. And then after that, GWS Dirt. So that is the goal. And King Lark finally bouncing back with a grade 1 win there in the Summer GP. Running a little bit of a longer distance though. Managed them much better. That's its 6th grade 1 win. Still going for that mid-champ title. He should be close. 1 or 2 more wins at that distance as well. He also needs to get into the GWS. So actually, before we head to the mid-champ, we're going to toss him in the Summer Sprint. That should be fun. 2 furlongs shorter, but if he's a miler, according to this game, he can certainly run a sprint with 89 speed. I'm convinced. Good response rating, good guts rating as well. He shouldn't get left behind. In fact, that might be... I haven't really tried running him at a mile too often. I know I have, but it just feels like it's been less of that, actually. Let's see, how often have I ran him at a mile? Okay, so he does have wins. He actually has 2 grade 1 wins at a mile. He has ran some sprints. Okay, so yeah, I have run him at sprints. All right. I was just sending him on a bit of a longer campaign as of recent. Well, I think what we'll do is wrap this episode up with these next 3 races. Ready for Combat again, King Lark, and the debut of our 2-year-old filly, HRG Arrow. Excited for that. Here we are, the half-year classifications I was mentioning about 15 minutes ago. King Lark is sitting at the top with a 133 for the mid. Doing very nicely. We're not hitting the board for the 3-year-old Dirt. We are for the 4-year-old Turf. America's Dream, 128 for the mile and a 136 for the mid. So he is outperforming his stablemate, King Lark. 4-year-old Dirt, we have America's Dream up here as well. 130 for the short, 122 for the mid to long. And Ready for Combat, she is a 127 for 4-year-old Dirt. All right. So still a lot on the line. Still Horse of the Year candidate potentials for America's Dream and Ready for Combat, depending on how well she does at the end of the year on the dirt. But America's Dream for sure. If he keeps winning the way he is winning, then I think he could potentially be a Horse of the Year. And I was excited for him, but I wasn't really expecting this level of dominance. I feel like he's doing a little bit better than King's Lark. Not saying, as we're about to race with King's Lark, we won't start to get on this roll with him too. But again, America's Dream is stronger because he has that 82 power rating. King Lark, on the other hand, this guy, 50 power rating basically. 32 points weaker than his stablemate. That is a difference maker. Spicy Whale's here. Gosh, go away, Spicy Whale. Horse literally ran us down next time. Courtly Duo's here. Lemon Salin, Casual Fan. It's a stacked field. Running level. My gosh. Stately Show. Just when I thought winning a GWS was going to be easy again by switching games. Remember, it's been tough in 2004. We're only going to come away, I think, with one that you'll see. And like, oh my gosh, man. Stacked field for the GWS Sprint, which means a lot of these horses are going to be in the sprint races with us. So what, every sprint racer is literally going to be like at least 8 to 10 horses that all could realistically win? That's insane. Oh, Spicy Whale actually doesn't have much of a chance here today. But still, like, there's like 9 horses that could all realistically win this race, and it wouldn't be a surprise because the public doesn't know who to wager on. That's really all this is. The public doesn't know who to wager on. They're saying we're all evenly matched. And they could be right. Like, for all we know, most of us in here, most of the horses and candidates in this race aren't even like true like 6 furlong sprinters. It's just fast horses that were entered into a race, even though they weren't the fastest for it, right? That's what this race might also be like on paper. But it doesn't matter. We're off and running in the summer sprint to kick off the GWS Sprint with King Lark. It's had a pretty busy summer so far. I forgot it is a sprint, so I got to get our boy up to the front quickly before the game annoys me. It says bad position, bad position. Now, fortunately, because this guy has got such a quick turn of foot, get him to the front quicker. I don't like being that far outside and not seeing what the field is doing, so get him closer. Got to remember to be patient and hold him. He's got plenty of stamina, though. Save him. We'll save him. Okay, we'll go now. Now, if King Lark is really the truth, man, he can run these horses down. This is a tough race. Really tough race. And this is where we're probably going to struggle, the power rating. He's still fighting well, but the win is not happening here today. He's going to finish 3rd. Still hits the board, hits the podium, but 4th, actually. No podium then. He still hits, well, not even the full board, actually, so. I mean, he hits the board, but not the board that's actually seen. At least in this game. You get first. I mean, you get money for 1st through 5th. But you see, he was supposed to finish 9th in that race. So he is definitely not a sprinter, which means I'm not running him in any more races at this level. Like, I basically almost ran a perfect race with him, and the best we could still come up with was 4th. Could I get him going sooner? I think he would have died out. Certainly. Like, he just made it to the end there. If that race was any longer, he could have dropped. He could have still closed in, or he could have dropped even further away from finishing in fourth as opposed to, something worse. But yeah, 89 speed, I would think he'd be fast enough to really, I mean, he was up there, don't get me wrong, but I mean, I knew once, the 11 got past us, I knew it was a wrap, so again, this is where I have to make a smart decision and realize, running him in another GWS sprint is probably not ideal. Yes, we've won races like that with him, but like I said, that was a really tough field, man. Any one of those horses really could have won, like 9 of them, and clearly you saw how it finished, so the power rating is really going to hurt us. I felt it. His stamina drops so much faster as soon as we hit those uphill inclines. So I just feel like that's going to be a problem. I'd rather race him on a little bit flatter ground. I don't want to try to make a case for running him on courses that require a lot of power for you to be competitive and win out. I'm not taking 50 power to those races anymore. But we'll get back to our regular field of business with him. We'll have to get him a GWS turf at some point. Hopefully, maybe next year. I think his stats are good enough. Does come from twin son though. He'll be peaking. King Lark should be a Hall of Fame horse, definitely. I don't know what to really do with him. I feel like the sprint's a little bit out of his reach, even though he has 89 speed. The power rating I think does it in. Ready for Combat's up in the Long Beach Cup here. 10 furlongs on the dirt. She wins this, she gets her title, but Silly Ruler's the favorite. Also co-favorite with the 1 horse, Fairy Fear. So the 1 and the 9 horse. We're somewhere in the middle with Ready for Combat. Well, 70 Stam, yeah, she's getting stronger. Speed 80. Yeah, she's going to be a really nice broodmare. Really excited, man. We shouldn't really get any bad horses from her. Health rating may not be great. Temper could be, a little bit bothersome, but it shouldn't be anything that should keep us from turning that horse into a champion. That's what I'm trying to say. So, she's got closer. Which is really hard to get running on a Procedure, so I don't really know why they combine that, but it's fun. Long Beach Cup here. This is the Santa Anita Gold Cup. Santa Anita Gold Cup is this race in real life. A big race, a fun race, an important race on the Grade 1 calendar. In real life, horse racing, especially in the North American scene. So let's see if we can get our girl, the Santa Anita, Gold Cup victory. Royal Robin's still with the record here. That's crazy. Royal Robin's been out of this game in our breeding barn for like 2 decades. Well, unlike the other race where I ran her really far on the outside, I do want to get her inside positioning much quicker on this race. And that's what we do here with Ready for Combat. Sending her to the front. I think the rail is open for us. Oh, I can't really tell. I'm kind of going to sneak her up. I think it is open. If the rail is open, this race is a cake. Oh, yeah. The rail is open, so this race should be ours to win. There's the 9, Silly Ruler, and then Fairy Fear is way back there. So Fairy Fear is going to be coming well off the pace, trying to close in on us. And then somewhere in the mix, Silly Ruler is now right next to us. That's great. And the 1 and the 9 horse are co-favorites here in the Santa Anita Gold Cup. Silly Ruler and Fairy Fear. And we've been stalking this whole time. I'm cool, bro. I'm cool. Just gonna get her moving up. Okay, now we're gonna get her on the go. Let her coast. Let her coast. I will open up. Silly Ruler and Fairy Fear will be coming. Furlong left to go. Fairy Fear is coming. Silly Ruler's called it a day. Fairy Fear is trying to chase us down, but Ready for Combat, doing what she does best, and wins the Santa Anita Gold Cup. Closing Fairy Fear. Great second place effort, but my gosh. Inside Trip makes it work on the dirt in these games, man. It really does. You got to have the right horse to make it work with, but really does. Ready for combat. On and onwards we go with this amazing 5-year-old mare, man. She is getting stronger and still winning races. That's my favorite type of horse, honestly. It makes all the developing with them that much more worthwhile. Because you're seeing the benefits of your patience, right? If you deal with long growth type horses in this game, you have to have some level of patience. I know some people don't like sustained growth types. They just want horses that peak very quickly. So it's always more rewarding to me when you have a later or sustained growth type horse that you can finally start winning with. Like the game rewards you for being patient and developing with that horse. I mean, Happy Diamond, the third place finisher, was 7 lengths behind Fairy Fear, who we beat clear by 2.5. I mean, just basically, what, almost 10 lengths back to Silly Ruler, who had no chance today as the second co-favorite. Fairy Fear was actually the heavy favorite. Well, not the heavy favorite, but the main horse to win this race. Silly Ruler was supposed to probably be a really close second. Did not happen. Ready for Combat destroys it in the Santa Anita Gold Cup, a.k.a. Long Beach Cup. And that should be her Dirt Champ title. I know it is. But we have another race here, and this could be the debut of our 2-year-old filly. No, it's not. 2 down, 2 more to go. Let's get our girl her mid-champ, or excuse me, her Dirt Champ title coming up. Mid-champ I wish could work, but her turf rating's not the greatest. So Eternal Pool won that sprint race for the GWS. Stately Show second, Uniquely Melody third. I feel like they all beat King Lark kind of purely on merit. I don't think anything I would have done differently could have changed that outcome, and that was almost a perfect race. That to me tells me he's just not that type of sprinter on that level. But he's in the turf. I forgot, I must have won a race with him way back. So I'm already going for the turf with him. And then America's Dream, I'm going to try for it as well. And then America's Dream is also in the dirt with Ready for Combat, who's now first. I am all over the place. So realistically, everybody's kind of chasing everything except for the sprint. Nobody's really claimed this, but King Lark and now America's Dream are going to be chasing the turf. And then Ready for Combat and America's Dream are going to be chasing the dirt. So America's Dream, I guess he's a horse I will just be putting wherever I can get him fitted. You're a dirt champion, Ready for Combat. Let's go. A true dirt champion. It's always a good feeling in this game. And they finally move her up to the A ranking as she continues to improve, and she is still getting stronger. This wonderful girl here. From Crimson Art out of Frugal Lark. Safe to say, I think that's a breeding combination that works. Is Crimson still back there? I think I finally got rid of him, didn't I? Yeah, I definitely did. Who else is back here? Who did I replace him with? Common Earth, it must have been. Or Electric Arrow. Toxic Waters, did you come from Crimson? No. I don't think any of these studs come from Crimson anymore. Well, Twin Sun technically has Crimson in there. Down the line, but it's actually about it. So, Toxic Waters, yeah. Social Brandy is actually looking like a much better sire for the type of horses that I want. Go figure. It'll be interesting, though. We'll try Common Earth next year. Let's see. Orca's Water. Now she's getting 2-star development. I mean, she's not even a year old yet. She could be a 5-star horse, but from Pale Reef, so I did 2 Electric Arrow horses, which is good, because if it doesn't work with him, I may not use him again, which would really stink if he failed as a sire. Pale Reef. So, not going to be able to race the horse as often as I would like. No big deal. Heart rating is not going to be great. I hope that's not too much of a hindrance. Fuel rating is going to be a little bit difficult. Gosh, she could really be a hit or miss. Well, yeah. Yeah, Orca's Water. She could really be a hit or miss type of horse, honestly. Yeah, gosh. I guess we'll find out at some point, yeah. Alright. So that was ready for combat. 6th grade 1 win, 13th win overall. She's on a winning streak. She's super hot. Yeah, she's definitely going to get the GWS dirt. She should. America's Dream, again, is going for the Platinum Stakes on the turf side. That would have been a good race for King's Lark, but I got to give America's Dream a chance, honestly. Whoever does, I'm gonna let them both compete. As long as they're both winning the races, it's just a matter of who gets the most points. If we keep the AI from winning, that to me is all that matters. But last race of today, it's gonna be HRG Arrow making her debut, her 2-year-old filly maiden debut. Will she break her maiden? We'll have to wait and see now. Forgot I did green tack for her. Main color that's been, for the most part, on this channel for now half a decade, which is crazy to think about. Kicking off her career in an open 6 furlong sprint. She's the favorite by quite a margin, actually. Still, it's a relatively stacked field of 2-year-olds, 2-year-old maidens that have a chance to win. But they're actually giving her decent odds here. Am I bugging her, or did her stats already bump up like 2 points? Her power already jumped up 3 points. And her stamina, I think, only jumped up 1. How did that happen so quick? And her speed jumped up 3 points as well. Her speed and her power jumped up by 3 points. Is that from the training? I thought that happened already on that screen. And those stats were what they start off with. Does it apply them like on the day of their first race? Is that how training works? Either way, I mean, she still doesn't look like super like, ooh, like not even close, right? She's a mid-type runner, so closer. Closer to a closer. Okay, that could be fun. I mean, that means we should be able to save stamina, at least, so that shouldn't actually be too much of a problem. She could end up working out. I mean, at least I was worried she was a proceeder. I wasn't really paying attention to her leg type, so I'm like, okay, how is this really going to work? But if she's actually supposed to kind of be a closer, this could really benefit her. As long as she's got a decent turn of foot. I hope she's not slow. But she does have a relatively good response rating, so gonna send her on the charge now. I know you're gonna want to drift out. I'm not having it. No, gonna keep her outside. Let's see how she can work. Oh, she's got a really nice run. Oh, wow. My friends, we could have a serious, not a deep closer, but a closer for sure on our hands. She ran away with that one. My gosh. Wow. HRG Arrow's kind of fast, actually. She just destroyed that field in 6 furlongs. Again, I also think the pedigree of her parents and what they actually achieved, I think that will give her a better evaluation than what her stats represent. That's what I was talking about earlier. Like, her stats will make her look like maybe she's not as good as she could be, but I think the game has given her, like, a boost somewhere that we just can't see on screen. 5-length winner over Northern Rock. Wow. HRG Arrow, what a debut. That's an awesome win, man. Absolutely running away with it. Clear. So our 2-year-old filly actually looking a lot better than I thought, which is a good sign. Still a little bit worried. I just want to see how the stats develop, but that was I think a pretty positive start, to say the least. So, yeah, we will definitely take that one for sure. And I'm feeling a lot better about her going forward, and I'm glad I'm keeping her training on balance. So none of the horses have broken the S tier yet. I feel like they've won enough to be considered S tier horses, and the game is like, no, not quite. So I'm just kind of coming to the realization, like, you actually have to win a lot more than I think to really get those really good boosts and buffs that you get from your horses and their winning, from grade 1s to the number of wins they have, the titles they achieve. If it thinks that, like, all of this is, I guess, only A-level work in this game, gosh, I still have a while to go. Like, have we had a double S horse in this game? I thought it was Toxic Waters. Did he hit double S for like a second? No, I think they only kept Toxic Waters as S ranked. I can't remember who got double S. Was it Twin Sun? It's kind of crazy to think about. We actually like yeah, I don't know if we've ever had a double S stud as an original. I think if we did, he'd be back here for sure. Still, I think he'd be worth it. And One Lady Miracle, I thought she only peaked at S as well. Yeah. I don't think I've had... To think, we're year 46 and I still haven't had a double S original? What breeding combination is actually going to give me that? I still feel like we need stronger horses. There's some mixture grades in there for the studs. Yeah, like every horse has like D's or E's in them. It's kind of crazy to think, even with our recent success, I still have horses with not ideal grades. Electric Arrow, technically, the C is the worst he's got. But everybody else has D's. Wow. And they have D's like in pretty important categories too. Most of them in the health or the power, so... Gosh, I wonder, One Lady Miracle, like she's not great either. 3 D's with an E? I mean, this is a mixture of like in-game horses and our originals. Wow. Like that looks so much worse than I thought. Even though I don't think we're doing bad, but it's like there still is a lot of room for improvement, clearly. I never really like glanced over all the horses at once to get an overall picture that like, yeah, all of them still have D's or E's. And I know you can still win and have success with that, but I don't want that to be like the standard. I mean, when you look at a horse's stats like on this level, it obviously looks a lot better than it appears like from the letter grade. Like these are decent horses, right? They're not superstars, but they're very strong horses that are capable if you know what you're doing. You know? Like, guess I'm realizing whatever the letter grades is, just kind of think about it that it's probably a little bit higher. Letter grades are kind of throwing me off. Then I come to these sheets, I'm like, oh, these horses are actually pretty decent. And when I race with them, I feel that. So just remember, whatever the grades are, a little bit better. I would even say maybe 1 letter grade higher, it seems for me in this game. But regardless, this is where we will end today. Appreciate you guys' love and support on the channel. As always, feel free to let me know any thoughts, any ideas you'd like to see for breeding. I'd like to do One Lady Miracle on Common Earth. We just retired him. I think, unfortunately, we have to try to get... We have to do that first before we do anything else with other breeding. Just to see what we could get from Common Earth. And One Lady Miracle, I haven't used her. It just feels like I should use the horses at some point. You know, and then, I mean, I think going forward, we're not so much doing experimental breedings just because, like, we don't have the space in this game. So I was doing that a lot in the beginning. I've really tried to stay away from it now. And as you can see, we're getting stronger horses. We are. Still some anomalies in there with some grades and some letters, but we're getting stronger horses. So One Lady Miracle, she does have good ability. She's got Stretch Burst and Spurt. Impost not good, is not ideal, but I don't remember that really affecting her. Her stats are not great. Again, she has 3 Ds for Braking, Temper, and Response. Response, not ideal. She's a long distance runner. She should help give us an endurance horse, though, so maybe the response won't be as necessary. Feel at E as well, so I'm really hoping... Honestly, to be honest with you, she comes from Social Brandy out of Suave Master. And she was good, but... she got to the Hall of Fame. Let me see. Her stats are really... The D's and the E's combined really concern me. So I'm trying to really be thoughtful. Like I just said the same word 3 times, and I probably did. But... I just want to make sure I'm actually, like... taking everything into consideration long term. Like, Frugal Arc by far, I think, is still the best broodmare to use overall. 25 wins with 20 grade 1 wins, and I think I got her 8 titles. No, 6 titles, so I still think we're going to get the best quality from her. Eastapool, she's still back there. We only got her 10 wins out of 21 starts with 8 grade 1s, and only 1 title with the GWS Turf. Pale Reef, she's back there. We had 18 wins out of 26 starts and 17 grade 1s for Pale Reef. I didn't really remember doing that well with her. With 7 titles. Or 6. Why do I keep miscounting? So, her and Frugal Arc, very close. Frugal Arc just a little bit better. And then One Lady Miracle, 7 wins out of 26 starts with 4 grade 1s. And all she got was the GWS Turf, which was still amazing. I think it was just really important to get her into the Hall of Fame because, remember, she is our first filly the game gave us after like literally 20 in-game years of giving us no fillies every time we did breeding. It was just only colts. That's why she's named One Lady Miracle. So that is her special place in the Hall of Fame. She broke the curse. Now, to get more originals in here, because we only have 2, Toxic Waters and One Lady Miracle. We still have a long way to go. We're just getting started. But, yeah, I guess I don't know if I want to use her for breeding. She's not terrible, but the D's and the E's, like, I would just... It's breeding I don't want to do. I definitely think I should maybe give Pale Reef a shot now. We've done some Frugal Arc stuff. We've got enough, I think, horses from her so far to know she's reliable at least. So let's try, like, Pale Reef. Maybe we could get something similar in a different way. That's going to do it, though. I appreciate you guys for love and support. Until next time, though, for first thing, I'm going to start out. Have a great and fantastic day. I'll see you later, and goodbye.